Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to study lesson number 4.3, that is World Heritage. So first of all, we will study what is the meaning of World Heritage. You know the meaning of world, everybody knows. But what is heritage? Many times we pronounce this word heritage, but what does heritage mean? You know, the meaning is given here. Heritage means whatever the things or whatever the sites which are present in the whole world, but they are very valuable according to history, according to culture, or according to nature. It means that historically valuable, naturally valuable, or culturally valuable things or sites which are present in the whole world, that is called heritage. But some sites are given the level of World Heritage Sites. Okay, that only we are going to study in this lesson, World Heritage. So let us study. A World Heritage Site is a site determined by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. So, you know, that is a very big organization that is called UNESCO, and this means what? United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. That is a big organization which is present in the United Nations, which takes care about the educational, scientific and cultural things in the whole world. And that's why that is UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, the big organization. And the sites in the whole world which are determined by this UNESCO organization in US, okay, or in United Nations, these sites are called World Heritage Sites. See now, to have significant cultural or natural importance to humanity, as such the sites are protected and mentioned by the International World Heritage Program. See now, as such the sites are protected and maintained by the International World Heritage Program. These sites, all the sites in the whole world which are protected and maintained, protection of the very valuable sites in the whole world which are protected and maintained by UNESCO, okay, by International World Heritage Program, which is administered by the UNESCO World Heritage Committee. And this is administered means administration of all these sites are done by UNESCO's World Heritage Committee. Means this organization's World Heritage Committee, this organization has a separate committee that is called World Heritage Committee, and this World Heritage Committee protects and maintains World Heritage Sites in the world. See now, because World Heritage Sites are places that are significant culturally and naturally. And what is the reason of that? Why this World Heritage Committee of UNESCO protects and maintains World Heritage Sites? Because it is given there, World Heritage Sites are places that are significant culturally and naturally. Because World Heritage Sites are those places which are very, very important, culturally important as well as naturally important. Here the word significant is given there. That significant means important to the whole human being, culturally as well as naturally. And that's why these sites are called World Heritage Sites. See now next one. They vary in type but include forests, lakes, monuments, buildings and cities. See now World Heritage Sites. Number of World Heritage Sites are in the whole world. But what are the World Heritage Sites? For example, one example of World Heritage place in Maharashtra that you know, that is Ajanta Ellora Caves. One of the most important, we can say, sites which have been built since hundreds of years ago. Okay, but what sites are included in this? There may be monuments or forests or lakes or buildings or cities. It means that in World Heritage Sites, monuments are also included. Monuments. You know what is monuments? Monuments means like Taj Mahal, that is monuments. Very important such constructions, okay, which are built in the memory of something or somebody, which are physically, culturally and historically important, and they are forests, that is lakes, monuments, buildings as well as cities. Okay, it means all these types can be included in World Heritage Sites. Now second paragraph. World Heritage Sites can also be a combination of both cultural and natural areas. See now, World Heritage Sites can also be the combination of both areas, that is natural as well as cultural. Okay, culture. You must know what is meant by culture. Every country has its own specific culture. हर कंट्री को अपना स्पेसिफिक कल्चर होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू थिंक द कल्चर डिफरेंस बिटवीन द कल्चर ऑफ इंडिया और कल्चर ऑफ अमेरिका, then you will find a great difference between this culture of America and culture of India. And this culture has been followed by the people of that particular country since thousands of years ago. Okay, that's why the sites culturally and naturally important sites, they are World Heritage Sites, because it can be the combination of both cultural as well as natural sites. For example, Mount Hongshan in China is a site with significance to human culture because it played a role in historical Chinese art and literature. See now, one example, cultural World Heritage Sites example has been given here. The example is of Mount Hongshan in China. In China, there is a very beautiful and very, we can say, the big mountain. Its name is Hongshan, and that mountain is included in World Heritage Place, World Heritage Site. Okay, why it is so? Because it played a very important role in the culture of China. See now, that is the cultural heritage sites, because Mount Hongshan in China played a very important role in the culture of China and in historical Chinese art and literature. And it played a very important role in the culture of art as well as literature in China. Art culture, literature culture in China. Art, you know, the art of different countries is different. We can say styles of painting, their styles of art, and there actually literature. Different types of literature are also there according to the different countries. This Mount Hongshan played a very important role in the culture of China to create the specific culture as well as literature. And that's why this mountain, that is Mount Hongshan, is culturally important World Heritage Site. The mountain is also significant because of its physical landscape characteristics. See now, this mountain, that is Mount Hongshan, is also significant because of its physical landscape characteristics. That mountain is also important because of its physical landscape characteristics. Physical landscape means, landscape, you know what is landscape? Landscape means the external appearance of the mountain. Okay, geographical appearance we can say. How is the geography of that mountain? That is the physical landscape as well as its important characteristics, that is the distinguished features. Characteristics, you know the meaning of this, that is the distinguished features of the mountain. And because of these two things also, that mountain is very important. Okay, so this because this is regarding UNESCO and World Heritage Sites and the examples of World Heritage Places that we have studied in this first paragraph. Now second paragraph is given here regarding history of World Heritage Sites. See now, second paragraph is about history of World Heritage Sites. History of World Heritage Sites. Now we know about World Heritage Sites, World Heritage Places, but how this World Heritage Places originated, okay, or how this World Heritage Places created, means its history. What is its history? That is given here. So although the idea of protecting cultural and natural heritage sites around the world heritage began in the early 20th century. So now this idea, which idea? That protecting cultural and natural heritage sites in the whole world. The idea of protection of the natural and historical heritage sites in the whole world came into early 20th century. Means this idea came in early 20th century. Early 20th century means after the completion of 19th century, okay, that is 20th century. And then in that century this idea came in the mind that we should protect all the important places in the whole world. That is idea of World Heritage Sites. Although that idea came in early 20th century, but what happened? Momentum for its actual creation was not until the 1950s. But actual momentum of that idea was not implemented until 1950s. It means that, for example, in 1901, this idea of the protection of World Heritage Sites came into mind. But actual implementation of that protection or of that idea was not started up to 1950. This is the meaning of that. And in 1954, then what happened? See here now. In 1954, Egypt started plans to build the Aswan High Dam to collect and control water from the Nile River. So now the example has been given here. The example from Egypt. What happened in 1954? Egypt started plans to build the Aswan High Dam. In Egypt, they started a plan. What type of plan it was? That was the plan of building a high dam in Nile River. Okay. And that was Aswan High Dam. That was their plan. They decided to build. The initial plan for dam's construction would have flooded the valley containing the Abu Simbel temples and scores of ancient Egyptian artifacts. See now then, they had done the plan of building the dam in the river Nile, and you must have known that Nile River is one of the most important rivers in Egypt, which is also called as lifeline of Egypt. Okay, Nile River. But what happened actually? The initial plan for the dam's construction would have flooded the valley containing Abu Simbel temples. See now, but again they came to know that if we build this dam, then what will happen? The water will be collected. Okay. But due to that water, the important Abu Simbel temple in Egypt, Abu Simbel temple, which was one of the important temples in Egypt actually, and some important artifacts, some important objects, historical artifact, they would have drawn inside the dam, or they would have flooded inside the dam. This they came to know after having that idea. And then what did they do? Scores of ancient Egyptian artifacts. To protect the temples and artifacts, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959. So now to protect the temples and artifacts, then UNESCO wanted to protect these temples as well as the artifacts, because after building the dam, this temple and the artifacts would be flooded, and they did not want to destroy this temple as well as the artifacts. They wanted to protect them. Then what did they do for this protection? That is in 1959, that called for the dismantling and movement of the temples to higher ground. And then they decided to dismantling the movement of the temple, or dismantling the temple and the artifacts to the higher ground. Dismantling is the word here, and the meaning of that is pulling down or disassembling. See now, dismantling. Some of these types of words are very important, because if the passage or the same passage comes in the paper, then you must know the meanings of such types of words, so that you can understand it very well. Dismantling. This is the word, actually the meanings are given, and the meaning of this word is pulling down or disassembling. It means that they decided to disassemble the temple as well as the artifacts to the higher ground, so that after building the dam, these things would not drown or would not, we can say, flood into the water. And then the project cost an estimated $80 million. But this was not very easy project. See now, UNESCO had decided to dismantling this temple, but this project cost $80 million. It means this project was costly. $80 million this project cost. $40 million of which came from 50 different countries, and from this, from $80 million, $40 million came from 50 different countries. It means that some countries contributed for that, and due to the contribution, $40 million were collected. They came from 50 different countries. Because of the project's success, UNESCO and the International Council on Monuments and Sites initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. See now, because of the project's success, UNESCO and the International Council on Monuments, and this project was completely successful. Which project? Dismantling the temple, Abu Simbel temple, as well as the important artifacts to the higher ground for building the dam. This project was completely successful, and due to the success of this project, then what did they do? International Council on Monuments, UNESCO and the International Council on Monuments and Sites initiated a draft convention to create an international organization. Then they decided to form one particular organization. For that, they prepared a draft. There should be a particular international organization which will protect and maintain the important sites in the whole world. And from this, the idea of this World Heritage Committee implemented. And then what happened? How did this World Heritage Committee started? That we will study in the next period. Okay, thank you.